All right, welcome back to the HV360 Gridiron Glance, Week 4. This week we have Hudson coach John Davey coming in to join us here.
Absolutely. Good to see you, Coach.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. Wanted to start out with just talking about the schedule. Schedule Maker was not kind to Hudson in the early portion of the season. You started off with not only two of the best teams in Section 2, but in the state, in Glens Falls and Schuylerville. Then you have to go play Ravenna at their place. Came out on the short end of the score those first two games, but then you come back last week with a big win over a solid Ravenna squad. Tell me, do you like the progression you've seen from the team so far, from games 1 through 3?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely progressing. We're moving in the right direction. Things are starting to come together. If I could ever have a healthy backfield quarterback situation, we probably, week one we came out, played sloppy, a lot of penalties, a lot of stuff going on. So it really didn't work out too well for us. The Schuylerville game, I thought we played well. We just had maybe 6 or 7 bad minutes. And then the Ravenna game, Willie came back, and everything kind of fell into place. So, yeah, I mean, we're progressing like I expect us to progress.
And you lost a lot of talent from last year. You have some good kids coming back, a lot of kids coming up from a very good JV team, but I know it's tough to get them to gel right off the bat. And I think it's shown on the field, the fact that you had a lot of penalties that first game, maybe won the second game, and then back to a few more penalties, probably more than you'd like, in that third game.
Yeah, we had a few guys go down early. The quarterback Charles Goodermote went down early. A couple of our receivers went down, and if we're thin in a spot, it's in our secondary and in our wide receiver core. So that's kind of where things got a little messy for us, and we had some miscues. We had some guys in the game and didn't go in the game. So those kind of things are all the bugs we're working out now. But we're a young team. Last year we were very senior heavy. This year I call us more junior heavy, and we have some, but we have some real solid. Almost our whole. I think we have one senior on the offensive line this year. So everybody will be back. So yeah, it takes some time, and they're feeling each other out. But I think they're starting to play well.
And of course, it all starts up front. You know that. But we talked about the backfield. You have some really, really talented kids. You have Charles Goodermote, plays quarterback. You have Zach Wilburn. You have Willie Walker. But as you mentioned, you haven't had a chance to get them all on the field, except maybe for the first game. Do you think that plays into the role of not being able to come out and win your first 3 games, or does that hamper you any, the fact that they haven't been able to play all together?
Oh yeah, listen, I think that the first game, the 3 of them were on the field. We were working out the kinks. It's the first time they had ever been on the field as a group, the 3 of them. The second game, we did not have Willie, and then Charles was injured late in the game, and in the last game, we had Zach and Willie and no Charles. So I think when we put it all together, when we actually get 3 healthy kids on the field, they're going to do real good things. All 3 of them very talented, and they're getting used to working with each other and kind of getting that feel for each other and how things progress,
Very versatile kids, too. I mean, you could put one at quarterback, a couple at halfback, or vice versa, interchangeable parts, really.
Those 3 guys are completely interchangeable. Every one of them can play quarterback, every one of them can go out and catch a pass, and every one of them's completely capable of playing running back, so I have a comfort level there where,
Definitely
most teams don't have those problems.
Exactly. Pleasant problem if it's a problem
it's a good problem to have.
But do you think some of the newer kids and even some of the holdovers are feeling pressure to duplicate last year's success? I mean, you went 9-0, got to the Section 2 championship game, the Super Bowl. I mean, do you think they feel any pressure coming out of the gate this year?
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's we talked about a lot over the winter, and we talked a lot in preseason about new year, new team. Nobody owes us anything. It's things we're starting fresh, and that's really what we've been trying to send that message home to these guys. We're starting over. We don't expect anything from you guys. Nobody expects anything. Let's just go out there, play hard, and decide what team we are, and prove to people the team we are. And I think we're definitely a better team than what our record shows at this point.
No question about it. I've gone on record on this program here saying I think I was going to win like 6 in a row, and so.
Yeah, nothing like a little pressure. Right, a little pressure for us.
Yeah, well, I'm usually wrong, so it doesn't hold me to that. But, but I definitely feel the best football for Hudson has yet to be played.
No doubt. I think once things come together, we've got some really nice additions to the program this year. We have Nick Bernacchi, who's out.
Yeah, sure.
His first time playing football as a junior, and he's just he's catching, he's blocking, he's doing everything. We have a great group up from the JV team.
No question.
So we're pretty solid.
A lot of talent.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of talent. What areas you feel need maybe some shoring up still through the first 3 games from what you've seen? Some areas that maybe you felt are overachieving or maybe underachieving? Any areas in particular that you feel need maybe a little more shoring up?
our kicking game is suffering right now. We really haven't found our niche. I'm working with another kid right now who hopefully will be ready by homecoming.
Sure.
So I think that's going to change things for us drastically. But it was just, as far as extra points go, Jack Moon has been solid. We haven't really been able to find a good person to punt. We haven't really been able to find a person that can kick off very well compared to what we were used to. So that's definitely someplace that, we're lacking a little bit. Other than that, I think it's just working the bugs out, just progressing as we normally progress. It's difficult, even as coaches, it's been difficult to go from that team that just won
exactly
to not winning, and it's just there's a lot of work involved in it, and it makes it a lot more work when things aren't going exactly the way you plan them to, as you know.
Now we talk about the two strong teams that you started the season off with, Glens Falls and Schuylerville. Glens Falls this week is now the number 1 ranked Class B team in the state. Schuylerville is number 6. So you played 2 of the top 10 teams in the state already. They have a date to play on October 6th. If you had to look in your crystal ball, predict what would happen in that game, who would you favor in that particular matchup?
I tell you, Schuylerville's good.
Sure.
That flex bone style offense that they run, that thing, it just they grind the clock up and they just
quarterback can throw too, Stratton.
And they run hard. I almost have to give an edge to Schuylerville as much as it's difficult for me to go against Joe Girard, just because he's the kind of athlete that he is, and the Sampson kid's a fantastic runner. I just think defensively, Schuylerville's a better team, and I think all around, overall, both sides of the ball, Schuylerville wins that game. Maybe by a touchdown, but not much more than that. But I think that's going to be a great game.
I see. We're going to have to agree to disagree on this one because I think Glens Falls.
You like Glens Falls?
I do. Quite possibly could win the state again. Not just Section 2. But Hudson's going to have something to say about that. I want to go on record and say that right now. And Schuylerville as well. But Glens Falls, exactly. Glens Falls, any team that has Joe Girard on it, JG3, any team that has JG3 on it is a threat to go all the way.
Yeah.
And he's got plenty of help. As you mentioned, Aaron Sampson. You have his younger brother, Elijah, who's very fast and can do a little of everything. I really do like the Glens Falls defense. I really do. Kyle Deshawn, who was a All-State player, 5th team, I believe, last year as a sophomore, is just a beast. I mean, he is the prototypical linebacker. I mean, I could see him playing at the college level one day. He is tremendous. And I think he leads a very underrated defense. They lost a lot from that defense, graduation-wise. But the kids that they have back, it's like they've reloaded. And I would give Glens Falls an edge in that one. But again, that's to be seen.
We might have to make a friendly wager on that game.
Oh, I've known every once in a while. Okay, but that aside, want to talk about the upcoming ceremonies, the closing of Barrett Field, and then the grand opening of the Blue Hawk Sports Complex. First, Barrett Field. Definitely want to talk about some of the festivities going on there, and maybe some of your memories. I know you've played there, coached there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think, like I was just explaining to you, it's going to be a busy week for us with the closing of that and with everything else that's going on. And Barrett Field's been, the place for as long as you and I have been around Hudson. You know what I mean? It's
and that's
everything. Going back to the youth department field days that went on there when we were kids, to the Pop Warners that we played there, to the baseball, the soccer, some of the athletes that have played there. It's going to be an incredible thing. It's going to be real good to see all those people, some from out of the area, returning to just try. It just goes to show you what that place really meant to a lot of people in this town.
For sure. No question. And Brian, the closing is
Wednesday, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wednesday the 28th.
Wednesday.
Lots of things going on that day.
That's right.
And we moved to Thursday. Introducing the new field. Get you guys out there. You mentioned a lot of guys coming back. A lot of people, hopefully, some former players, some alumni.
That's what we're hearing. We're hearing all kinds of people are coming. I don't know that there's a confirmed list. I did see Pat Malloy is doing something for the closing.
Yeah, he's going to be running at both fields. He'll be running the track at Barrett Field, and then Thursday he'll be running over
carrying the flag, and then I believe the athletes will be following behind, and just a really nice ceremony.
We're going to miss it.
And then the bonfire, of course.
The bonfire is also Wednesday night.
Right.
The traditional homecoming bonfire, and it's as a player and as a coach in Pop Warner, it was a great place to play. There's I think I talked to you about. There's nothing like cresting that hill and seeing the lights and the people there. As a coach, great place, but I got to tell you, it's not going to hurt my feelings to not have to take a bus to a home game.
That's right.
So, Coach, I forgot my this, and Coach, I forgot my that. So,
But you think of the new field too.
The new field is incredible. The facilities are beautiful. It's just a nice place. The lights, we practice now once a week under the lights.
That's nice.
So we did that last night, and it's just I can't say enough about it. They just did a fantastic job.
I'm right there with you, Coach. I love that place. I mean, they've already played the one game there, the Glens Falls game, and had a soft opening ceremony. But now the grand opening that Thursday, which is the 28th,
right?
And that's going to be a great event. You've got skydivers, you've got music, you've got a little track meet that's going to be going on. I mean, so many great things going on. You got to come out and see it, whether you're a Hawk or not. Right. Hard. I mean,
we have the first modified game will be played there.
Mm-hmm.
Home game is tomorrow. Tomorrow for
That's
our modified kids. They'll be playing. We've had a couple JV football games in the last 2 Saturdays.
Sure.
So yeah, it's been good. The kids are eating it up.
Gotta love it.
Now, pulling it back a little bit, we want to get into some of this week's games. You guys going to Ichabod?
Listen, at this point, I hear a lot of things, and I see a lot of things, and I look at Ichabod on film, and I don't see a bad football team.
No,
there.
not at all.
I don't see a bad football team in Ichabod. I don't see a bad football team in Lansingburg. So we don't take anything for granted around here. We go out, we practice, and we play hard no matter what. The quarterback at Ichabod looks like he can
throw the ball.
He's a newer kid, and
definitely.
he's got a fantastic arm. He throws with some velocity on the ball. He's got a nice touch. So defense looks good.
Defense is getting better too. I mean, the whole
week they had their best.
14 points to Lansingburg. That's not bad.
You can see, definitely a steady progression up. So they're doing something right up there. And again, I make no predictions.
Well, I've jotted down some notes. I mean, since Ichabod Cranes at football started up in 2009, you've played, Hudson and Ichabod have played 6 times. Hudson's won 5 of those matches, including 64-0 last year. So they're going to want a little get back on you guys,
absolutely,
especially up there.
Right. Everybody, listen. That's another thing we've been talking to the kids about all year. Listen, everybody. We went 9-0 last year. Went to the Super Bowl. Everybody wants a piece.
Payback.
What I mean? Everybody wants a payback. So
Yep.
sure. I think it's going to be a great game.
How about your team, health-wise? Everybody ready to go?
We got some guys. Charles Goodermote probably will not play. He's just not feeling good.
Sure.
Other than that, I got some guys banged up and guys with colds that are going on.
The usual.
But
Yeah, I'm trying my best not to sniffle here on the air myself.
I'm we kind of ran through the whole locker room. We're all sniffling and sneezing, but we're healthy as a group. We're healthy and we're looking forward to it. I love the rivalry.
No question about it. It's good to see the 2 county rivals going at it. I mean, because you no longer play the Chathams or the Taconic Hills, so Hudson Ichabod is it for the larger schools, the B schools.
And for the most part, the kids get along. They have a good time promoting the rivalry themselves. So it should be interesting.
For sure.
And also Friday night we have Hoosick Falls at Kentucky Athens. 2 of the best quarterbacks in Section 2
no question
going at
it.
That should be a bit of a shootout with those
probably
guys.
going to be a long game, too, because with all the passing that'll probably be going on in that game, a lot of clock stoppages, I mean, unless they complete every pass, and that's usually not the case in high school football. But, Sam Richard is the quarterback for Hoosick Falls. Not a big guy, about 5'7", 135 pounds, but, man, he can air it out. He's thrown for 719 yards, which is number 1 in terms of yardage gain, passing-wise, in Section 2. And then Mike Constantino for Coxsackie Athens is just behind him with 664 yards as far as total yardage in terms of passing. But they're no slouches when it comes to the ground game either, but I think you'll see a lot of passes, and they're going to be airing it out in that game for sure.
And Kentucky's coming off their first win on their new head coach, which is nice to see him get 24 years old.
Yeah, 24-year-old Patty Bailey, our guy. He definitely celebrated that victory, a hard-fought victory on the road against a very solid Taconic Hills team, who also has a first-year coach. Still looking for his first victory, but I'm sure he'll get that before long. But good stuff. Good on you, Patty.
And speaking of Taconic Hills, they're going to be hosting Voorheesville, which another tough game for them. They're 2-1. Taconic Hills again 0-3, but they have some guys that can score. They're putting points on the board. Just can't get that win yet.
For sure, Coach, you want a piece of this one?
Nope.
Staying away from it.
Listen, I'm a top secret Taconic Hills and Coxsackie Athens fan. I root for both of those teams.
And there you go.
And there's that. I think it's the Miller kid who's the running back for Taconic Hills.
Caleb Miller.
He looks like he's pretty tough. He's a workhorse out there. Sure. Good luck to Coach Anderson.
Well, Voorheesville has had a kind of a strange season. They opened up with a big win over Carroll Durham, 55-13. Then they lost to Tamarack, 26-20. Then they came back last week and beat a very, very good Waterville team, which everybody expected to contend with Chatham for the South Division title in Class C. Voorheesville had the big lead on them, 21-0 at halftime, and then Waterville came back with 18 unanswered points of their own, but fell short 21-18 of Voorheesville victory. But Voorheesville can throw the ball. They have a good kid by the name of Jimmy Conley, who played defensive tackle last year, took over at quarterback this year for the graduated Ryan Daly, and had a good game last week, threw for 170 yards, a couple of touchdown passes against a good Waterville team. He's a big kid.
We go to camp with Voorheesville and with Coxsackie Athens, and we watched them battle it out over there, and both of those teams are solid. And yes, that kid that's playing quarterback at Voorheesville looks like a defensive lineman. He's a big kid. When he takes
tough
off
to bring
and runs,
down.
Oh yeah, people notice when he takes off and runs.
Can throw the ball too, so
yeah.
It's definitely something to look forward to.
And another big game in Class C, we have Chatham going to Waterville.
This might be the game of the week.
Right.
Yeah.
This might be the game of the week, and will tell a lot as far as how the Class C South Division will shape up as we go forward. Chatham is undefeated in first place undefeated in their division, the 2-1 overall, but the 2-0 in the division, the South Division. Waterville, coming off that loss last week, they're going to be home, and they're going to be looking to get some payback for that defeat last week against Voorheesville. But they're going to have their hands full. Chatham is just a good, solid team all the way around. They have a good running game. Hayden Spock leads the team in rushing, but they've got about 4 or 5 kids. They can all run the ball well. They've got a very good quarterback in Caleb Taylor, some good receivers. They have a good line. I mean, what's not to like about Chatham? I'm taking Chatham in this game in a close affair, but I like Chatham on the road. And I think Chatham is going to win the South Division.
I think that's going to be a great football game. There's no love lost between those teams. It's a huge rivalry. It's like a Hudson-Ravina rivalry.
Yes, sir.
So that should be a real interesting game.
They got me fired up over here, Coach. I mean, this is going to be a good game.
And our lone game on Saturday, Carroll Durham, still looking for their first win. They've had a rough time of it. They're going to be playing Tamarack. Good thing about Carroll is they haven't been shut out.
They have not been shut out.
They can hang their hat on that.
They were shut out like 4 times last year, but they have not been shut out, and they play hard. They will play from one buzzer to the other. And all game long they're going to be there, and they're going to fight. Tamarack, like I say, the same thing about Voorheesville. They've had an up-and-down season. They won the first 2 games, won a close one against Coxsackie Athens, 34-32. They beat a very solid Voorheesville team, and then they got shellacked last week by Chatham, out in Chatham, 41-0. So go figure which team is going to show up. Either way, you got to like Tamarack a little bit in this one, but Carroll Durham's going to fight, and they're home. It's going to be an 80-degree day, evidently, so it's going to be hot. So hopefully they can batten down the hatches and see if Carroll can come away with that first victory this season. Let's hope so.
Hope so. All right, well, I appreciate you coming by, Coach. Good luck this weekend, and with the field next week. It's going to be a busy week for you guys. So.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, enjoy.
Thanks. I appreciate you guys having me.
Always a pleasure.
Time.
All right.
You know it.
Take care.
All right, we'll see you next week.